This week on 49ers Sac-Hi Sports, baseball playoffs are here, and we have the exciting first and second round matchups. You'll see Oak Ridge take on Turlock, Escalon battle Bradshaw, Christian, and Folsom face Vacaville.
Softball features the top two teams in the area with East Nicholas and Sutter. We have highlights from all four section title games for volleyball. Plus, you'll meet this week's inspirational athlete, the Granite Bay rugby star. 49ers Sac-Hi Sports starts right now.
Welcome to 49ers Sac-Hi Sports. I'm Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Brownstein. We start tonight at Vacaville High School, where the Monticello Empire League champions enter the postseason as the 6th seed in Division I. The Bulldogs' Jaden Oldwin winning the league's Pitcher of the Year honors as a sophomore. Jaden gets the nod in round 1.
11th seeded Folsom is Vacaville's first round opponent. Folsom goes with left-hander Sean Carey to get the job done. Vacaville and Folsom, it's a battle of the Bulldogs for the first round of the Sac Joaquin section playoffs on Tuesday. 6th seeded Vacaville taking the field Tuesday, taking on the 11th seed. Folsom is hitting early. Colin Callahan leads off the game with a base knock to the opposite field. That puts a runner on first for Colin Gallagher. Gallagher chops it through the left side of the infield, a slow roller to left. This ball is overthrown at third base and goes into the Folsom dugout, allowing Callahan to score all the way from first, and Gallagher is awarded third base. Peyton Dupree is the one to bring him home. Another chopper. Brendan Murphy at second base this time makes the play. It is 2-0 Folsom. Jaden Oldwin shuts down the inning with a backwards K, allowing no earned runs in the first. Vacaville is in business in the bottom of the first. Runner on second for Drew Lamon. Drew smacks a base hit up the middle. A bobble from the center fielder gives Drew enough time to dive into second. Cy Dempsey scores on the hit, 2-1 Folsom. 2 batters later, Tyler Chalk grounds a ball to the right side, a tricky hop, and that ball goes into the outfield, scoring Lamon. We are now tied at 2. From there, both pitchers and defenses settle in. A great play from Lamon at first base, Oldwin covering first. So it is still tied at 2 in the top of the 5th. The Bulldogs with a runner on first. Luke Williams, a deep fly ball to straightaway center. The sophomore taking on the deepest part of the yard. The extra base hit allows Sean Carey to score all the way from first base. Folsom takes back the lead 3-2. 2 batters later, Tyler Yen comes up with the runners on the corners. This ball falls into shallow left field. Justin Lee scores on the Yen base knock. Folsom up 4-2. Sac State commit Sean Carey continuing his strong outing. The whiff in the bottom of the 5th is his 7th. And Carey is being helped out by his offense. Colin Gallagher in the top of the 6th. A towering ball to deep left field, and this one is gone. Colin's first home run of the year, and it puts the Bulldogs up 5-3. But don't count out Vacaville. Runner on first. This ball is smacked by Drew Carrington, but hang on, Logan Hutton tracks it down and makes an excellent catch. Everyone thought it was down. Drew throws to Colin Callahan, Callahan to Williams for the double play. And it was huge, skipping ahead to the bottom of the 7th. 6-3 Folsom. Vacaville down to their final 3 outs. Lamon caps off his impressive day with his second RBI base knock, scoring Murphy. So it's a 2-run ball game. But Sean Carey gets that 21st out with the fly out to center, and Folsom upsets the 6th seed and lives to play another game. Sean Carey with 8 Ks in the complete game.
4-time section champ Oakmont hosting 10th-seeded Galt in a Thursday D4 quarterfinal, and the Warriors starting off strong in the top of the first. Long Beach State commit Aiden Hall with the hot shot. That eats up the third baseman and puts runners at second and third for Mason Tassano, who does his job and lifts a fly ball out to right for the sacrifice fly, and Galt leads 1-0. But Oakmont responds in the bottom half, first and third for Bo Ogles. He goes Oppo Taco. Coach Paul Martinez with the windmill, and the Vikes tie it up at 1. Oakmont starter Kurt Martin found his groove, striking out the side in the second, and the Vikes go back to work at the plate. KC Tibbetts with a deep double out to left, putting runners on second and third for the leadoff man, Trevor Wilson, and he sends a fly ball out to center, plenty deep enough to score Gabe Carrillo from third, and Oakmont leads 2-0 after 2. Bottom 4 we go. More ducks on the pond for Oakmont. This time it's Tony Lira coming through. That one drops in to say hello. 2-run score, and it's 4-1. 2 batters later, Jaden Perkins gets into the act with a 2-run single, and it's 6-1. Oakmont starting to blow it open. Next batter, Aiden Dringenberg. Everyone in the Oakmont dugout thought this one was out of here. AD settles for a 2-run double, and it's 8-1 Vikes after 4. The Riverside commit Kurt Martin was masterful with no hits allowed through 5 innings. And Oakmont looking for the run rule with the bases loaded in the 5th. Winning run on 3rd for Noah Rush, who takes a little plunk on the junk. Can't say it's the most dramatic walk-off win. We can say that the Vikings won by the seat of their pants. That also gives Martin a 5-inning no-no, and Oakmont marches into the section semis.
There's Aaron Jackson, a friend of the show, calling all 4 section finals. Is Nevada Union Merced in D3. This is a very tight matchup throughout the day. Nevada Union jumps out to an early lead. Bodie Ulikma with the kill, set up nicely by Tate Bodette. Still in the first, Merced goes up 12-11 with Matthew Moa. Has to tip it over the NU Forest around the net. The tip shot was the way to go because if Merced tried to slam it, Nevada Union's wall was rejecting it. Bodette with the roof, and they were tied up at 20. On set point, another NU rejection. Seth Wilkinson gets it done, and they take the first set. We go up high in the second set. Merced's Max Fong to Braylon Loy for the kill. 19-18 NU. Long rally here as NU was still blocking shots around the net, but the Bears would recover and get that kill shot they were looking for as Fong gets it done, and Merced takes the second set. In the third set, Brett Cota came alive. Front side winner. Down the line it goes for the kill after a nice dig by Brodette. Nathan Pinot gets up and puts this one away for the Miners. Then another kill by Cota. This man was feeling it, and the Miners take the third set. And in the fourth and final set, NU wore down the Bears as Pinot pounding the ball. And on match point, Carter Figley sets up Wyatt Fowler for the kill, and he calls game. For the first time since 2019, Nevada Union is once again section champs as they knock off Merced in 4.
Last year we came up short at Pondo. We lost in the 5th set by like 5, but we came back this year and got it done.
Yeah, we're obviously excited this stuff, but we have to keep going because we have NorCal's on Tuesday. And so we're gonna.
The job's not done yet, huh?
The job is not finished, no.
Tracy Area Sports coverage is presented by Tracy Toyota off Freeway 205 in Tracy, with you all the way.
Tracy won back in the loss column from St. Mary's heading into this Monday matchup. Brian Mueller here to see it. Top 2, the Rams ruminating a big inning with 2 on, but Emily Cargill snags this hot shot and completes the double play at second to keep the game scoreless. In the bottom half of the inning, Ariel Nava keeps the zeros coming with a strikeout to end the second. But in the third, the Bulldogs with a runner on, Melissa George skies this to left center. Cargill comes around to score, and Tracy has a 1-0 lead. Meanwhile, Alyssa Galley was cooking in the circle, puts together a shutdown inning in the 4th to maintain the Tracy lead. Bottom half of the inning. This looks like it's going to get through, but Maya Garcia gloves and fires just in time for the out. Bottom 5, Tracy still looking for some insurance. It's a pop to shallow center. Hannah Ham coming on and catches this on the heel of her glove and somehow holds on. And that would be an important out because Tracy would load them later in the inning. A hard hit ball, but right at Alyssa Garcia, and the inning is over. Top 7, the Rams have 2 outs to play with, but the tying and go-ahead runs are in scoring position. Maya Garcia hits at the center. That is deep enough to score Matea Maroka, and we are tied at 1. Bottom 7, Tracy has the winning run at first, and once again, George delivers with a gapper. It's Cargill coming around to score again as well. George drives in both runs in a walk-off win for Tracy, 2-1. The Bulldogs just a half game back of the Rams.
Each week this season, Roseville Hyundai brings us the Players of the Week. Our first Player of the Week is Dylan Drake from Christian Brothers. The Falcons swept Vista Del Lago to take the league championship. Dylan went 4 for 4 in Game 1 with 3 RBI and finished the series with 9 hits.
Our second Roseville Hyundai Player of the Week is Shaylin Stinson from Pleasant Grove. The Eagles beat league-leading Franklin on the final game of the regular season to take home a share of the league title. Shaylin had 2 triples in the game, driving in 2 runs. She is just a freshman. Shaylin Stinson and Dylan Drake, this week's Roseville Hyundai Players of the Week.
SMUD is leading the nation in clean power, so each week SMUD teaches us how we can save energy.
Here is this week's Clean Power City Tip, powered by SMUD.
Hi, my name is Jason Teeter from Ingram High School, and here is this week's Clean Power City Tip. Consolidate your online purchases to reduce packaging and the number of shipments. SMUD is leading the nation in clean power. Learn more at cleanpowercity.org.
Coming up, our first SunPower electric game, Turlock travels north to take on Oak Ridge.
Then the Division II Volleyball Championship with Antelope and Wood Creek. You're watching 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Summer's in full swing. Remember, SMUD's peak hours are 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays when electricity use is the highest. Shift some of your electricity usage to mid and off-peak hours when it costs less and renewable energy is plentiful. It's good for your bill, protects the environment, and helps our community too. Let's work together to save energy this summer. Learn more at smud.org/time of day.
Commitment, performance, pride. Roseville Hyundai is thrilled to be the feature sponsor of this week's Sac-Hi Players of the Week. We take great pride in recognizing each of your accomplishments as part of our continued effort to support the community. Come see the electrifying new lineup at Roseville Hyundai. From EVs and hybrids to our fuel cell vehicle, Hyundai Nexo, we've got you covered. Claim yours today.
Score that touchdown and run it up again. Score that touchdown and run it up again. SF9ers, we just win. SF9ers, we just win. I'm from that field, I'm from that field. 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 I'm from that field.
We are back at the NBC Sports Studio at Levi Stadium with our first SunPower electric game. Oak Ridge drawing the 9th seed in Division I after a second-place finish in the Sierra Foothill League. The Trojans earning the opportunity to host in Game 1 of the playoffs.
Oak Ridge taking on 9th-seeded Turlock, the runner-up in the C-Cal.
Electric game.
Robert and Aubrey, these 8-9 matchups are so often 50-50 games with how evenly matched the teams are, and that is the case in our SunPower electric game. Both Oak Ridge and Turlock have a lot in common. The Bulldogs have won 15 games on the season, the Trojans 14, and both teams finished second in their league. This game should be powered by pitching. For visiting Turlock, it's Peyton Hawkinson, who will be throwing for Cal State Fullerton next year. He has a 2.66 ERA and has struck out 80 in 47 innings. And for the Trojans, making his playoff debut will be junior Brady Ray and his sub-2 ERA. Let's get to our SunPower electric game. Both Turlock and Oak Ridge looking for their first section titles. Ray getting the playoffs off to a good start for the Trojans with a scoreless first that ends with a backwards K. Hawkinson, more of the same from him in the bottom half of the inning. We are scoreless after 1. Bottom 2, Trojans trying to get something going, but Riley McCord looking like Scott Rowland at third with that number 27 and diving stop. Great play to save a hit. Then top 3, the Bulldogs have 2 on, but Ray is cool under pressure and gets out of the jam with another strikeout. Bottom 3, the Trojans have runners at the corners. Carson Nichols hits it sharply. Another incredible stop by McCord, but can't complete the throw. Runners are back at the corners, and Landon Vetter scores on the play to make it 1-0. Then Andrew Del Pizzo rips a single to left, and the Trojans lead 2-0. To the 5th now, Oak Ridge again with 2 on. Nichols up again, and he'll have another productive at-bat. Hits it deep enough to left to score Dylan Westbrook, and Oak Ridge is up 3-0. And the Trojans aren't done in the inning. Dylan Barthel laces a single up the middle. Joe Carroll is in to score, and it's 4-0. More than enough run support for Ray, who kept the Bulldogs off balance all day. He goes the distance, pitching a 2-hitter in his playoff debut, and the Trojans advance to play Franklin in the second round, 4-0 the final.
I just wanted to treat it like any other game. I wasn't nervous at all. It's any other game. But when I had that, I I got the first pitch out and the second pitch out and got the other guy. I think it was like a 6-pitch inning. I knew that I was going to finish it and go all the way.
You guys have anything?
Reporting in El Dorado Hills for the SunPower Electric game, Brian Mueller, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
The D2 boys volleyball final at William Jessup, CVC rivals Antelope and Wood Creek. Let's go. Set 1, Antelope off to a hot start as Mike Mordosev ricochets that ball into the atmosphere, but Wood Creek's Andrew Gordon takes the feed from Ben Cohen as the Timberwolves take the first set 25-21. Set 2, all tied up at 12, Wood Creek on the attack, but Antelope's Ruvim Taushanzi says, you're too little, bro. That's part of a 7-0 Titans run to make it 19-12. Wood Creek rallied to make it 20-18, but Mordosev puts this one away as Antelope wins set 2, 25-18. Set 3 now, Caden Hutcherson starts to take over for the Titans, showing off the power on this point to tie the game at 10, and 2 plays later he shows off the finesse to give the Titans a 2-point lead. But here come the Timberwolves. Andrew Taylor gets on the floor to keep this ball alive for the swinging southpaw Andrew Gordon, and Gordon would go ahead and finish off set 3 with another one of his 10 kills on Saturday, 25-21, and the T-Wolves are just one set away. Everything was going Wood Creek's way in the fourth. Even a big block from Antelope can't stop Braden Heaton. Hey, you make great hustle plays in championship games and great things will happen. Heaton with the shoulder shrug as these Creek boys just seem to find a new gear in set 4. Ty Nakamura with one of his team-high 17 kills. Jaden Shower showing off the shower power. Brody Krupp getting up to throw down, and the Timberwolves are in complete control now. Match point. The Antelope serve goes just a little long, and after being the section runner-up last year, Wood Creek can hang its first blue banner and will defend its NorCal championship this week.
To lose last year, to battle back, we had kind of a rebuild year this year, but we built up and we finished it off in the ship, baby.
Stanford Medicine brings us great advice for athletes each week.
Here's Dr. Joseph Donnelly with this week's health tip.
Ankle sprains are seen in many sports, most commonly in hard court sports like basketball and volleyball. Typically, the athlete's foot is twisted inward, causing an injury to the ligaments on the outer aspect of the ankle. Symptoms include pain, swelling, bruising, and at times, the inability to bear weight. Appropriate treatment of ankle sprains initially includes ice, elevation, anti-inflammatory medication, and a period of immobilization, usually in a walking boot for about 10 to 14 days. Appropriate physical therapy rehabilitation is critical to prevent recurrent ankle sprains and chronic ankle instability.
Coming up, it's Oakdale and Del Campo in the Division III bracket.
But first, take a look at our Sac Joaquin section softball poll presented by Tracy Toyota.
Very friendly staff, made us feel welcome.
Definitely the dealer I would recommend.
Tracy Toyota understands that our reputation of trust makes a difference, and our reviews prove. We're with you all the way. Our customers are so happy with their buying experience, they proudly show it online. We even certify our used cars with an included warranty. During the Summer Starts Here sales event, get 3.99% on select new models. Tracy Toyota, with you all the way.
Right now, my electrical bill is about $10 a month.
This is definitely one of the best investments we did in our house.
All over the country, people are taking control over their electric bills by going solar with SunPower. We offer the most efficient, durable panels on the market, so you can see a return on your investment every month.
I was paying $220 a month. Now I pay about $22 a month.
Right now, 49ers faithful get a $1,000 Visa reward card from SunPower. Go online today.
Drive to deep right field. Isan Diaz has won this game. Johnson near the track, on the track, leaps up, and Bryce Johnson. Right field is looking up. It's marked and it is gone. What a blast from Gonzalez.
There's Oakdale ready to go after the 2-hour bus ride to Del Campo, and the Cougars send their dude Matt Moses to the mound in a D3 opening round battle. Top of the first 2 on for Donovan Johnson, who nails the pitch to the left field. Lance Moses had a beat on it, but he runs out of room. The ball stays inside the yard. Johnson has a double. Alex Jones and Carlo Antonetti cross home. Mustangs lead it 2-0. Bottom of the first, Del Campo has something cooking. 2-1 for Robbie Perry, who hits a sharp ball to short. Everyone is safe, and the Cougars are on the board as Moses is in. Runners are on the corners for DC. Coach calls for a squeeze play. Ryan Durkee gets it down, and Anthony Martinez is in. The game's tied at 2. In the third, after a Moses double, he's now standing on third. Robbie Perry flicks his bat at the pitch and sends it to shallow right. McDonald makes the catch. Moses is tagging. He takes off for home. He's in, and the Cougars lead it 3-2. To the fourth we go. Game tied at 3. Landon shooting up, but the base is still juice. Slow roller to short. Landon beats it out as Gabe McDonald is in, and the Mustangs take the lead. Next batter's Johnson, and another ball hit the short. This time a much, much closer play as Donovan is safe at first by maybe a step. Jordan Haver comes in to score. 5-3 Oakdale. 2 more runs come in when Glenn Weber mashes the pitch down the left field line. Jones and Schutte come in to score. It's a 5-run fourth for the Mustangs. In the top of the fifth, Oakdale tacks on one more when Antonetti spins on the inside pitch to the left field wall. It goes. It's gone, and we're going to need a call roofer for this one. Up and over it goes. Mustangs by 5. Del Campo chasing 5 and does not give up as Martinez digs it out. The pitch to left, it goes. Matt Moses comes in, but it's not enough as the 9th seed Mustangs move on.
Only get a certain amount of games during the regular season, and this time it's just house money. I mean, it's bonus spins. I mean, we have nothing to lose, so I mean, we're just betting on ourselves, and we're going through games and just trying to win everything we can.
The best high school club rugby team in the country last year came out of Granite Bay.
And the Grizzlies are looking to make it back-to-back championships this year. Brian Mueller explains how one senior has given the Grizzlies a reason to repeat.
About the only thing more difficult than winning a national championship is defending it.
We knew that we were going to have a target on our back after winning the national championship, and nothing's come easy. We're getting every team's best game.
Every team that we've played, they've been out for blood. We're getting every team's A game.
But watching Granite Bay work, if they come up short, it won't be for a lack of try.
We want to make sure that everybody understands that last year was just not a fluke. We're going to be pounding on that national championship door every year, so just be ready.
The Grizzlies have many reasons to be optimistic. They're battle-tested, experienced, and they have this guy back, senior captain Jared Kenga.
He knows how to lead the boys. Everybody looks up to him. I look up to him.
I'm just happy to see all my brothers again, play the sport I love, and just get back on the pitch.
It was roughly a year ago that Jared's season came to an abrupt end on a pitch half a world away. The team was on its annual overseas trip. During a match in Ireland, Jared got tackled and came down awkwardly on his ankle.
It's sort of like a crack or a pop. You never want to hear that when you're playing rugby.
I was laying on the ground I was crying from more of just shock of knowing what's going to come after and what just happened.
Jared had broken his ankle. He would need surgery and miss the remainder of the national championship season.
I wish I could have been there, but I was also, very happy our team won. I couldn't have been happier. It was so great seeing them.
Jared's position of fly half is like the quarterback in rugby, an analogy Jared knows well, being a star safety and wide receiver for Cosumnes Oaks. While doctors were able to repair Jared's ankle, there was no remedy for the damage done to his college football prospects.
It's very hard to deal with, telling college coaches that I couldn't attend their camps or I couldn't come visit because I had an injury, and they just stopped contact with me in most of the higher division schools.
Jared returned to the football field in the fall, but it was a grinding season on the gridiron.
I came back to football practice probably a little early than I should have, just because I was really eager to get into it. I ended up kind of re-injuring it a little bit, limping off the field after every game.
It made Jared consider if he wanted to go through it all again this spring.
I was a little worried about him. Didn't seem like he was going to come back.
I even said bowling, which is kind of funny. All made fun of him for it.
While Jared was considering going from scrums to strikes, a heart-to-heart with his coach helped make his decision.
He and I just had a real matter-of-fact transparent conversation. The honest answer for Jared was, hey, listen, you have an opportunity to go play really high at the next level in the sport. Your legacy for football is going to be very short, but you have a chance to really write a legacy for yourself and make it into the books and records.
Jared is still chasing his dream of playing college football, but is also considering rugby at the next level. But for now, he's focused on this season, with his sights set on one goal.
I'm trying to win a national champion and be on the field this time.
Having him back out here with us, we want it even more. We want it more than we did last year.
Reporting in Granite Bay, Brian Mueller, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Jared and the Granite Bay Grizzlies will be competing in the national championships May 25th through the 27th in Indiana. Good luck to the Grizzlies.
Yeah, those guys are really good. Coming up, we head to Sutter for the Mattress Firm Perfect Match. It's the big softball showdown with East Nicholas and Sutter.
Then Valley Christian and Delta in section playoffs. But first, here is this week's Spirit Corner featuring the color guard from Pittman High School.
Sally was born to be a champion. She knows that all conversations start with making the right connections. A talent that Sally continues to use today at Service Champions Heating and Air, where you'll always talk to a live champion. We're now offering $88 AC tune-ups with a free water heater safety inspection. Call 800-5-CHAMPS.
'49ers Sac-Hi Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Stanford Medicine, #1 in Northern California for orthopedics, and by SunPower, a proud sponsor of the San Francisco 49ers.
The East Nicholas softball team is red hot in the last week of the regular season. The Spartans are undefeated on the year. Pittsburgh commit Danny Ferris having a great year.
Yes, she is. And Sutter 22-1 coming into this game and doing very well and looking to hand East Nick its first loss of the season in the game played this week.
It's our top-ranked team, Sutter Huskies, taking on undefeated East Nicholas in a non-league battle, and it's a great tune-up before section start. Bottom one leadoff hitter Olivia Bauer is up, and she gets into this one, sends it to the wall for a stand-up double, and the Huskies are in business. But when you get two great teams together, you're expecting a pitching battle. Mika Loppe for East Nick was up for the challenge, getting the whiff to end the inning, no score. Top two on, 1 out for East Nick, and Aaliyah Tanika smacks the liner, but right at Madison Szymanski at first base for the double play as Madison gets the unassisted DP. Bottom two, Carissa Williams stands on first for Morgan Henstrom, who gets into this one and sends it deep to right. That's going to be trouble, but the Spartans don't just freak out. They make a few relay throws home. The play at the plate, Audrey Gillespie's with the tag for the out. Next batter is Mikayla Szymanski, and she singles up the middle. Another play at the plate, but Morgan Henstrom is on her way home. She scores. Huskies 1-0 lead. That might have been all that Sutter's Olivia Bauer needed as she strikes out 7 batters in the game. Top of the 7, tying run on first. Tanika with a single to right. Mackenzie Massey going to third. The throw's cut off. A back pick at first. No dice. Szymanski for Sutter throws to third. Massey, she's still safe, but Alexa Carnillo of Sutter fires to second to get the runner advancing. She's out. Ball game. Sutter holds on. 1-0 winners. Bauer improves to 22-1 on the year.
I needed to come in, but It wasn't like that hard on me because I knew I had a strong lineup behind me and ahead of me, so they would just pick me up no matter what.
Sutter grinds. No matter how much people hate on Sutter, Sutter's amazing. The culture's amazing. There's no other high school like it. There's no other coaches like it. We all get along. We're all each other's sisters, and we all love each other.
We were really aggressive on the bases today, and when we apply pressure, there usually ends up being errors and mistakes, and just keeping that on full throttle all 7 innings is something very beneficial that we were wanting to do going into this game.
The 4th-seeded Delta Saints facing 5th-seeded Valley Christian in the Division 7 section bracket Wednesday. Bottom of the first, Delta already facing a 1-0 deficit. Runner on first for Isaiah Rubio, and that is a base knock to left. Michael Evener gets to third on the error, 2 bags for Rubio. Evener then scores on a wild pitch, and this game is all tied up at 1. VCA's sophomore Jeremiah Pritchard getting the nod in round 1. He gets the batter to strike out for the final out in the first. Top of the third, same score. Josh Ewan blasts the ball to straightaway center. It looks like a home run, but the umpires rule it a ground rule double. So there are runners on second and third with no one out, but Caden Clive strikes out the next 3 batters to get out of the jam. It remains a 1-all tie. That is until Jackson Nichols hits an absolute no-doubter to lead off the 5th inning. Jackson's 6th bomb of the season, and it puts the Lions on top 2-1. VCA keeps the line moving. 2 batters later, Pritchard drops the ball into left field, putting UN on third. So there are runners on the corners for Micah Bertrand, and he tomahawks this pitch to left field. UN scores, and Micah puts his team up 3-1 in the 5th. Bottom of the inning, Delta with a runner on first. Tyler Finley hits a high, deep fly ball to the opposite field, and you can kiss it goodbye, Tyler. The 2-run shot ties this game up at 3. Top of the 6th, runners on first and second for VCA. Have a day, Jackson Nichols. The line drive makes its way to the fence, scoring Nick Beffort, but Delta ends up nabbing the trail runner at third. A good tag there from Jackson Feldham. 1 run scores, but UN continues his monster game, digging out the low pitch and hitting a liner to center. Nichols scores, and the Lions plate 3 in the inning. Then it's Nichols coming in relief, and he strikes out the side in the bottom of the 7th to secure the win. VCA advances to the semifinal round, where the Lions will play a 3-game set against Turlock Christian starting Monday.
Service Champions Heating and Air Conditioning is shining a spotlight on athletes who excel in their sport and give back to their school.
In this week's Service Champions Student Spotlight, we feature Madeline Makis from Whitney. Madeline played 4 years of lacrosse at Whitney. She's a member of the Student Visionaries, Link Crew, Film Club, and Athlete Senate. Madeline also does a lot of volunteer work in her community and recently won a Community Involvement Award. Madeline Makis, this week's Service Champions Student Spotlight.
Coming up, the Division I section volleyball final with Jesuit and Whitney.
Then Intercommon Wood Creek for the league title in softball. 49ers Sac-Hi Sports will be right back.
Jesuit remains one of the very best volleyball teams in the section. The Murados drawing the 1 seed in the Division I Sac Joaquin section playoffs. Cal Lutheran-bound hitter Vince Semin leads Jesuit with over 450 kills.
Jesuit dropping just 2 sets to local teams all season long. Whitney being one of those teams to take a set against Jesuit back in March. Cale Cochran leads the Cats with 342 kills. The 1 and 2 seeds meeting for the section finals in the Division I playoffs on Saturday night.
The 2 top seeds in Division I battling for the section title. Jesuit, the defending champs, Whitney with first serve. And that's how this match gets started on the Jake Hay ace. The Marauders answer right back. Colin Marks on the mark to Vince Semin, but Jesuit would go down by a couple of points. Mason Miller to Hay to Tucker Wagner, 8-6. Whitney leads it in the first. Marauders rally for the lead. Marks digs it. Lorenzo Crisol sets up Rocky Brazier, and Rocky says, let's go. 24-22 set point for Jesuit. Colin Marks puts up the impenetrable wall, and the Marauders go on top 1-0. Second set, not as close as the first. Jesuit goes up by 8 after Keegan McManus hammers it down for the kill. Then it's McManus and John Downey teaming up for the block, and the defending champs are now just 1 set away from a repeat. But the Wildcats aren't going anywhere. Riley Smith to Hay, then Cale Cochran, the kill from the back row. Whitney would lead it by as many as 6. but Jesuit erases the Whitney lead. Crisol marks John Downey, and we have a Marauder passed out to set his side at 19. Cochran, then Hay with a quick set to Cody Hansen, and that one isn't coming back. Hay on over to Smith. Riley ties the setup at 21 on the trick shot down the baseline. But the Marauders back on top by 1. Marks to the hard-hitting Vince Semin, and it hits off the tape and down in Cat territory. Now 24-22 match point for the Marauders. Marks, Griffin Hurd, and I think you heard Jesuit is the back-to-back. Sac Joaquin Section Division I champs hoist the banner and throw on the hats. Jesuit with a perfect postseason, winning all 5 matches, 3 sets to none.
It just goes to show how much hard work we really put into it as a team. Like, it's much harder to do it a second time because you got that pressure of comparing to last season, but you know, we wanted it really badly, and this team has worked so hard to get to this position, and once we were here, we had no doubt in our mind that this was our game.
Brian Mueller here. Now stick with me on this one. You're seeing the start of Inderkum at Wood Creek last week. Bottom 1, it's the freshman Chloe Pruce lining a base hit to center. That scores Malaya Lawson to make it 1-0. Bottom 2 now. Wood Creek with the bases loaded. Sophie Pelsman hits a blooper past second base. That will drop. 2 runs come in, and it's 3-0 Timberwolves. But rain would start dropping as well after that, and the game would be suspended in the 3rd inning until Thursday of this week. Much better conditions for this one, and with the time in between, it's now for the league title. Wood Creek with the bases loaded and nobody out. Mickey Garcia with a nice play to get the lead runner at home, 1 away. Then Anissa Luddick follows suit on the second base side with another force out at home. The Tigers an out away from a masterful escape, and Samantha Stoll induces another ground ball out. Inning over, and it's still 3-0. Maren McNeil back in the circle for Wood Creek, gets one of her 7 Ks to start the 4th. Also has some help from her defense. Ayla Jones picks it, and the fadeaway throw is in time for the out. In the 5th, the T-Wolves have them loaded again. Pelsman pelts it through the infield to left. Jones scores to make it 4-0. Bottom 6 now. Some nice hitting from Kaylee Koloff produces a base hit to right. Elizabeth Popick is in, 5-0 now. Then Lawson continues her hot day at the plate. Hit number 3 for her makes it 6-0 T-Wolves. That would be the final, and thanks to sweeping the season series, Wood Creek is your Capital Valley Conference champions.
Woodland Christian facing crosstown opponent Woodland on the final game of the regular season. The Cardinals with runners on the corners in the bottom of the 3rd. Casara Pineda hits a ball to the left side. Tough play for Jocelyn Hernandez at short. Isadora Weiner scores 1-0 Dub C. Alexis Weiss follows it up with a line drive through the 5-6 hole, scoring Tegan Hayes. Weiss takes second on the throw. One more run coming in to score in the inning before starting pitcher Addison Tetriol gets out of the jam with her 5th strikeout, 3-0 Cards. Woodland trying to get some of those runs back. Maya Sprankle scoops up the ground ball at short, and watch the pick from Emily Garcia doing the splits for the out. The score is 3-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Tegan Hayes up with 2 on, and this deep fly ball to the opposite field falls in for extra bases. Maggie Wurzel and Garcia score on the Tegan triple. Wurzel continuing to shut down the Wolves, bats the line drive to Timothy, ends the 5th, and here is more Cards offense in the bottom half. Runner on first for Kylie Beelman. This one is well over the fielder's head. Morgan Sanders scores all the way from first on the Beelman triple. Freshman Lauren Stapleton plates one more in the inning on the liner to center. 9-1 Cardinals after the inning. But if you think this game is over, think again. Top of the 6th, runner on first for Maddie Mercart. A fly ball to left field falls, putting Nayeli Cardenas at second. Isabel Guro follows it up with a seeing eye ground ball up the middle, loading up the bases. Cardenas scoring on a walk, and the bases are still loaded for Jocelyn Hernandez. She pokes this one to the opposite way, moving everyone up a base. 9-4 is the score when Tetriol comes up, and this is a tough play. Everyone is safe. It is now a 3-run game with the tying run at first base. Cardenas singles up the middle, scoring Giselle Martinez, and after the bases loaded walk, it is 9-8 with the tying run at third. Garcia enters the game with just 1 out in the inning, and she strikes out the final 2 batters to maintain the lead. Clutch pitching from the lefty. Woodland Christian cushions its lead in the bottom of the 6th. Beelman bloops the ball over the shortstop's head, scoring Weiss. 12-8 Woodland Christian after the inning. Tetriot picks up her 4th hit of the day. This one loads up the bases in the top of the 7th, bringing up the tying run. A pop-up down the right field line. If it falls, it is trouble, but Morgan Sanders makes the catch, and this one is over. 12-8 Woodland Christian wins to improve to 12-8 on the year.
Each week we showcase a top recruit from the Sac Joaquin section.
This week's top recruit is Brock Sell from Tokay. The talented sophomore is already committed to play his college career at Stanford.
Coming up, our second SunPower Electric game, Rodriguez taking on Linden in the Division II section playoffs.
Then it's Division IV action with Woodland and Liberty Ranch. 49ers Sac-Hi Sports will be right back.
Tim never leaves his wife's side. But since junk sleep gave him a crick in his neck,
who's there?
He can't turn his head to see her. Now he's convinced she's left him.
Michelle?
Only our Love Your Mattress guarantee gets you the lowest price and 120 nights to sleep on it.
You came back.
Unjunk your sleep at Mattress Firm.
Introducing Clover Sonoma Organic Blue Moon Milk. A holistic daily ritual made with blueberries and lavender for relaxation. Love yourself to the moon and back with Clover Sonoma Moon Milk.
Linden baseball enters the postseason unbeaten on the year. The Lions are 23-0 and enter the section playoffs as the 8th seed in Division II.
Linden taking on 9th-seeded Rodriguez in round 1. The Mustangs finishing in 2nd place in the Monticello Empire League. It's our second SunPower Electric game.
Electric game.
Nick Pecoraro here with the 8-9 matchup in the Division II bracket. At 15-10, the MEL runner-up Rodriguez Mustangs hit the road to take on the 8th-seeded and unbeaten Linden Lions in our SunPower Electric game. 23 wins, 0 losses for Linden, a program that actually went 26-0 in 2005. This year's Lions will have to do at least one better to surpass that total and bring home a 3rd section banner. Bo DeLuz, Dax Weber, JT Cox, and Stevie Sanguinetti bolster the top of the order, accounting for more than half of Linden's run production. Rodriguez counters on the mound with dependable senior Nathan Shikori and his 1.81 ERA. He also shares a team-leading .362 batting average with leadoff man Kyle Sandner, who looks to spark the Mustangs with his 14 extra base hits. Not even Aaron Judge's Linden teams did what these Lions are doing. Could the Pride stay unbeaten? Let's find out. Top first, Rodriguez with a runner on, but Brady Carvalho carving up the strike zone and getting out of the inning with no harm done. Nathan Shikori also had a smooth first inning, getting some soft contact right here for an easy play to leave the first inning scoreless. Top 2 now, runner on 3rd for Aaron Strong. Just 3 for his last 17 entering the playoffs, but he delivers when it counts. The Strong man drives in Jace Parkinson, and the Mustangs lead 1-0. Linden responds with runners on 2nd and 3rd in the bottom half. A short pop-up down the first baseline, but Shikori makes the grab and takes a hit from Braden Busalaki within the base paths, but a nice play from Shikori to hold on for the out. He gets back on the bump and strikes out the next batter, stranding both runners in scoring position. Top 3, Kyle Sandner drives one out to the gap, but it's Dax Weber. He had 7 receiving touchdowns for the Lions football team this year, so he knows how to run a good route and potentially saves a run. Bottom 5, Linden trying to get something going. Bo DeLuz singles to right and gets Busalaki over to 3rd. Runners on the corners now, a little 2-out magic perhaps. Rodriguez reliever Carson Thompson says, The Stangs' pen was strong on Tuesday and it's still 1-0. Linden's bullpen was sharp too. Matthew Schallberger tossed 4 hitless frames in relief, doing all he can to give his lineup a chance. But in the bottom of the 7th, Kyle Sandner closes the game out with a punch-out, and the Rodriguez Mustangs end Linden's perfect season and move on to the quarterfinals.
I think it was heart and dedication. Like, we fought from the first inning all the way to the 7th, and I think without us coming through for each other and really bearing down, that this game could have ended differently. And we knew that we had to challenge to face this game. We wanted to come out strong, set the tone early, and kind of get their nerves rising up a little bit, and I think that we did exactly that.
From our SunPower Electric game, Nick Pecoraro, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Liberty Ranch earning the 8th seed in Division IV, facing top-seeded Woodland in round 2 on Thursday. We're starting off the highlights with the very first pitch of the game. This ball is crushed by leadoff hitter Derek Fisher. The senior goes deep on the very first pitch to take the 2-0 lead. Woodland getting a few more on board in the first, but Cade LeCompte gets the batter to ground into a double play. Lucas Manning to Nathan Nelson to Richard Brown. The Hawks with a runner aboard in the top of the second, but not for long. An awesome pickoff move by Austin Stapleton, and Stapleton faces the minimum through 3. Woodland tacks on another run in the bottom of the fourth. This is a deep fly ball from James Thompson. Garrett Owen makes the catch. Aiden Olson scores. Top of the fifth, Tyler Betancourt smacks a single into shallow center for a base hit, but Stapleton says you should probably leave. Austin strikes out the side. 9 Ks in the game for Stapleton. Fisher hit that no-doubter to lead off the game. Well, he's got some speed too, beating out this chopper to get aboard in the bottom of the fifth. Fisher then adds a stolen base, a 5-tool guy for sure. That puts a runner in scoring position for catcher Carter Imbach. The ball is crushed to the right center gap. Fisher scores, Carter with the double. Stapleton is the next batter. He helps out his own cause. A base hit down the right field line, scoring pinch runner Chris Duffield. It's a 4-0 Wolves lead after the inning. Liberty Ranch grabs a base runner in the top of the sixth. Nathan Nelson lines a ball to the left center field. Fisher cuts it off, so it's a single for Nelson. We saw Stapleton's pickoff move earlier. This is number 2. Austin going on to pitch a complete game shutout to improve to 6-1 on the year, a .86 ERA. Woodland will play league opponent Casa Roble in the best of 3 series on Monday.
Each week we present the Scholar Athlete Award.
This week's Scholar Athlete Award goes to Avery Seva from Granite Bay, the Grizzlies star pitcher earning a 4.18 GPA, committing to play her college career at Santa Clara University.
Coming up, it's Escalon and Bradshaw Christian.
Then Encina and Ripon Christian in the D4 finals. 49ers Sac-Hi Sports will be back in a moment.
Bradshaw Christian enters the postseason looking to repeat last year's success. The Pride finishing the 2022 season as league, section, and NorCal champions. The journey starts with a first-round game against Escalon.
All right, Bradshaw Christian drawing the 3 seed, while Escalon earns the 6 seed in Division 5. The first-round game hosted by Bradshaw Christian on Wednesday.
We head down to the Elk Grove area as the pregame plate meeting with the 2 head coaches. Bradshaw Christian looking to defend their title. Early on, it was David Weiser getting the tone set on the mound for the Pride as he gets the strikeouts to end the inning. And in the bottom half of the inning, Weiser, he's a smart one, knowing that scoring runs early will make his job as a pitcher easier. So he just hits a 2-run bomb just like that. Bradshaw Christian gets it going early. Similar situation in the third. Ethan Rickert on second for Weiser, who does it again. Another clutch hit by the sophomore, and that plates Wickert, and the Pride go up 3-0. Pride looking for more as Micah Nicholson with the single to left, but Nicholas Franzia comes up throwing, and they get the out at home as Jamin Miller with the tag. And Bradshaw Christian does get that 4th run here as Alex Krosno goes down the right field line. That brings in Nicholson, and the Pride lead at 4-0. Bradshaw playing that D as Mike Santos LaPlacia to Rickards over to Jackson Takahashi for the 5-4-3 DP. 1 on in the bottom of the 4th. Krosno with a big fly to center. Off the wall it goes. JT Motors all the way around from first. He scores, and the throw home is wild. So Alex Bradshaw gets a bit greedy as he's trying to stretch out an inside the park home run, but is tagged out by Miller. 5-0 Pride leading. Bottom of the 6th, Bradshaw continues to put the pressure on Escalon. Runners on the corners. Isaac Anderson singles to left, scoring Brandon Burden for the Pride. Then Escalon looking to turn 2 on Rickards' hit. They get 1 out at second, but cannot complete the double play. Carter Tidwell comes in to score, and that would do it. A very workmanlike game for the Pride as they go on to win 7-0 and will take on Colfax next week. That's going to be a good one.
Finishing off the show with the Division 4 section volleyball final, with the top 2 seeds Ripon Christian defending its title against Encina Prep. The Bulldogs' Johnny Ferguson comes up with the block in set 1 to make it 21-19. Ferguson then with the kill on the next point. Irvin Santos feeds Johnny on the outside. It's a 2-point game in set 1. Ferguson serves it. Joel Van Groningen receives it. Preston Zweitervaart sets up Josiah Reef. Reef with the kill, and here is set point for the Knights. Zweitervaart to Van Groningen, and Rippin Christian takes set 1 25-22. On to set 2. Reef to Joel Hendricks. Hendricks back to Josiah, who hits him with the tricky tip. RC in the driver's seat. Reef to Hendricks to Walker Postma. This shot from the 6'8" sophomore, impossible to defend. Rippin Christian goes on to take set 2. Encina Prep looking to battle back. Santos throws up the block and it falls in Knights territory. Bulldogs make it a 1-point game. Tommy man the dig. Santos to the hard-hitting Nate Roden. An incredible shot there, but Rippin Christian holding on tight. Zweitervaart to Van Groningen. That's another point for Joel, and let's skip ahead to match point. This is one of Reef's many aces in the match, and it seals the deal for a Rippin Christian repeat. The Knights win back-to-back section titles and will now look for their second straight NorCal title.
You know, it's a great thing. Definitely great winning it last year as a junior. So it was a challenge with losing our setter early on in the game, but our sophomore was able to step it up and set us.
NorCal's, I want to get put up into a higher division and still compete. So like either D2 or D3, and I just hope we play some really good teams and compete really hard.
Remember, you can buy all of the game footage we shoot throughout the week. Go to 49ers Sac-Hi-Sports.com to order entire game videos.
Follow us on social media for more prep sports content. 49ers.Sac-Hi is our handle on Instagram and Twitter. And subscribe to our YouTube site where you can find all of the highlights aired on our show.
Coming up, we'll choose the Sacramento River Cats Play of the Week. This could be the play of the week, but maybe not.
But first, take a look at our Sac Joaquin section top 10 baseball poll presented by Tracy Toyota. It's time to announce the Sacramento River Cats Play of the Week. The River Cats will be hosting our end of the season award ceremony for all of our players of the year at Sutter Health Park. That's on May 28th.
And be sure to head to our Twitter account, 49ers.Sac-Hi, and be sure to vote for your Play of the Year winner. We'll have a boys and girls bracket up there, and it's exciting stuff. The winner will be at that award ceremony at Sutter Health Park.
I'm very excited about that.
Well, for now, let's choose this week's Play of the Week. Here is Mark Willis.
Play of the Week.
You don't see this often in a highlight show, but a sick pickoff move by Austin Stapleton of Woodland. And Sutter's Madison Szymanski catching the hot shot for the DP. Vacaville's Drew Lamont, the diving stop and the throw to Jaden Owen for the out at first. But the winner is from these dudes from Folsom. First is Logan Hutton with the tracking down the ball, making the tough catch. Then the relay to Colin Callahan, who throws a seed to stretching Luke Williams for the double play. And that's the River Cats Play of the Week.
That is the River Cats Play of the Week, and that is 49ers Sac-Hi Sports for this week. Thanks for watching. I am Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Bronstein. Next week is the start of section playoffs in softball. We'll have those exciting highlights. We'll see you then.